Welcome back to Team O'Neill. I'm Wyatt. The BMW 3 Series is an absolute staple of the automotive community, whether you're just an enthusiast or you're racing or you're getting into anything. If you're interested in driving, I'm sure you know well about the BMW 3 Series across its many generations. Today, what we have here is an E46 BMW 325i. The E46 generation was here in the US from 99 to 2005. And for right now, here we are in 2023, the E46 is absolutely ubiquitous in all kinds of motorsports. You see these things, you know, they were touring cars and they're endurance cars and they're autocrossing and they're doing hill climbs and they're drifting. But we're here today to ask the question, will it rally? All right, so the BMW E46 3 Series, what do we need to know? Inline 6 engine, variable timing, 185 horsepower, 175 foot-pounds of torque. Great, fine. To a 5-speed jet-track transmission, open rear diff. Standard as everything came from, you know, the factory essentially with this car. Full disclosure, this car is going to be a school car. We purchased this to put a roll cage in and it's going to be a rally school car up here. So what have we done to it already? Really all we did is tune up stuff and replace the suspension, update the brakes. This has Bilstein HD, kind of the heavy duty Bilstein suspension on it. But other than that, it still has the open diff and everything is kind of as it was. You can see no roll cage yet, no skid plates yet on it. This is something that you could find used for, you know, easily $5,000 or somewhere around there and be driving it around, take it to autocross, take it to a track day, take it to a drift event. And because it's a hardtop rear wheel drive, 50-50 weight balance, fairly nice handling car, it can do so many things. So let's take this thing out on the skid pad and, you know, hopefully you can see that if you can do it in a car, you can do it in this car. And if this car won't do it, it's probably not the car. You know, it's a perfect 50-50 weight balance. We've got no ABS, we've got no traction control. More throttles, more oversteer, less throttles, less oversteer. And you can really just kind of rule the world in this thing. Little clutch kick got things started. And yeah, I mean, it's got enough power. It doesn't have too much power. A little more would be nice, but here we are, not having any problems at all, carrying a kind of a high-speed drift out here on gravel. You really can't say enough about that 50-50 weight balance. The inputs that you give it have very predictable results. It does what you tell it to do. It doesn't do things that you didn't tell it to do. There's no surprises. There's no safety systems, obviously, but also, you know, there's no quirks in the handling and the steering geometry as the suspension compresses and rebounds and things. It's all just good, and it just does what you should do. Now we'll give it another shot here, hang it out a little bit more. Got to save some rear tires for the hot lap, but I mean, it's just too much fun. The other thing about these is they really do have a fair amount of steering angle. You know, some cars, you can't get too sideways because you just don't have that much counter steer, where these, you've got a lot of steering angle. And it's a quick enough rack that you see, you don't have to be going crazy to get there. So you can have some pretty wild drift angles with a stock car, and again, the suspension geometry doesn't change in a bad way when you get to high steering angles. The suspension geometry in the front end especially just works really well for performance driving and drifting and rally, and being sideways is easy and it's kind of happy and fun, and you can hold big angles. Like, you get to what you think is the point of no return and you overdo it and you get more sideways and you have that amount of counter steer. It's rare you end up at full lock counter steer, but you do and you can, and it's very sideways. because rallying, you know, we usually keep it pretty tighty. But hey, if you want to go drifting this thing, there's a lot of steering angle available for a stock car, and it works really well. Out on the slalom course, I'm going to do a fast one and keep it tighty. Little bit of brake, back to throttle, little bit of brake, back to throttle. Yeah, just get that nose down coming into corners. Super easy, works really well. What can you say? I mean, that little bit of left foot braking when you turn into corners, just lift, turn, little bit of brake, lift, turn, little bit of brake. And the nose drops with precision. You get more grip out of the front end. It turns in right exactly when you want it to. And you can drive sideways, essentially sliding around all over the place, but with a ton of precision, which you need. It's great if you can slide around and be sideways everywhere, but if you can do it, you know, hitting your mark and hitting your mark and hitting your mark every time, that's what you're looking for, and that's what this car can do. Again, no ABS, no traction control, stability control, everything's off, and it's wonderful. Let's do it again. Down the hill, second gear, I'm going third gear. Right foot brake, heel and toe, second gear, left foot brake, throttle, go. Go, 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 go. I'm pushing a little too fast. My lines are getting lazy, but we're recovered for it by the next corner and we're fine. It's an easy car to drive. It's an easy car to drive fast. It's an easy car to drive well. I'm gonna push it a little bit here and just see, you know, where is that limit? And it's gonna be the tires, obviously. We're on snow tires out here, so let's see what this thing will actually pull for speed out here. Because of the weight of the car, if you get it going one way and the other, you're building up energy every time. So as you're letting the weight of the car sort of pendulum back and forth, again, just be really quick with your counter steer, keep your eyes way up, we're good. Let's do it again. Third gear, coming down the hill fast. I don't have a speedo, that's good, we don't need one. Right foot brake, heel and toe, big slide. Yeah, now we're cooking. Oh yeah, good. Later apex lines, much better through there. The limit is high. The limit is so high. This thing with proper rally tires would be an absolute menace, and proper rally suspension obviously too. Again, Bilstein HDs and snow tires out here are kind of our limiting factor, but let's do it again. It's the kind of car that makes you really think about small details that you're driving, being able to push it, knowing that it's gonna be there when you need it to, as long as you do your part. Yeah, third gear could be a little lower. Not gonna cry about it. Yeah, second, then third. Yeah, it's a real drop. Back to second. Okay. That was my fault. I can fix that. There we go. Small mistakes. It makes up for them. Small mistakes are so easy to fix, you know, especially when you've got a series of corners. You make a small error in one, again, you do your part and you're back online by the next one. It makes you want to just lap it. It makes you just want to keep driving. Just keep doing laps. Keep thinking about what you're doing, pushing that limit, using the steering. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, let's see that. Yeah. Okay. It's because of the variable timing. It's because of the variable timing. Second gear, and you get up in that variable timing band, and then when you shift to third, you dump down below it again. And I'm guessing in third gear, by the time you're up in that power band and up at redline, you're going, oh, this is probably 100 miles an hour, I don't know, which we're not doing out here, so that's okay. Let's do one more. Let's just keep driving. I'm just gonna do this all day. Oh yeah, I like that. Nice late apex. Yep, link at them. You shouldn't be able to do this. You shouldn't be able to do this with a normal stock, you know, high mileage used car. It's too good. It's too good. I'm happy. Let's go do the time lap. All right, start of the time lap. You know, there's nothing more to say. We're going to go for it. We're going to go for the top spot, you know, going after that Can-Am. We'll see what we can do. No idea, probably won't, but we're gonna have a really good time doing it. Handbrake, it's a little soft, old car, you know, it's 20 years old now, but we've saved it for now. So if we do need that, we've got it. We get gas, temp's good. Nothing left to do. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, the rev limiter. Third, we're going. Out for it this time. Second, go, 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 go. That rev limiter. We need a lower third gear or lower final drive totally. Second. Good pendulum. Get it back. Work it up the hill. Nice. Okay. Up over the crest. Feels brave. Yeah, rev limiter in second. Grab third and nothing happens. It just gets quieter. Back to second. It's hard to have any gripes, but if I do have one, that's it. Dusty, window up. Second gear. Automatic window, that's good. Up here, hard left-hand turn. A little bit of handbrake, clutch kick. Yep, that'll do it. Third gear again, here we go. Right foot brake, back to second gear, left foot brake, up the hill, keeping it tighty. Yep, that's the line. It's so easy. Compared to some of the other stuff. I mean, we've been having the SUVs and minivans and all kinds of other crap out here. This is what it's supposed to be like if I had a good third gear. Coming down, this is where we're gonna see that brake bias. A little too much front brake. A little too much front brake, but we got the handbrake for this. Back to throttle and we're out of here. Yeah, the front's locked up on me. That's okay. We can use the handbrake as well to create our own brake bias down the hill. Get third. Yeah, you hit that rev limiter, stumbles. Down through here. $155.47. And I think that's all it's got right now. I was going for it. All right, so the 2002 BMW 325i did the loop in 155.47. In order to improve this time, if we wanted to go after, you know, the Can-Am or to, you know, set a new record here, it wouldn't be that hard to do. Number one is tires. This thing's on snow tires, which I've already smoked the back tires off it just with what we did today. So, you know, some proper rally tires would definitely do it. Shorter final drive, shorter, you know, change the rear diff out to a different one, see what's going on. The gap between second and third is really killing this thing, because a lot of this loop is uphill and you're either on the rev limiter in second or in third slowing down. So shortening the final drive overall with the rear differential gear ratio would be a big improvement. And the only other thing would be adjusting the brake bias, which is, again, very affordable. If you had a car like this and you wanted it to be better on gravel and snow and that kind of thing, needs more rear brake or less front brake, however you want to think of that. You know, it's probably a $12, $15 part. There's nicer ones, there's cheaper ones, whatever. But essentially it's just a valve that's adjustable as a little knob. You can have it in the car. In a rally car, I'd have it in the car, but in a car like this, it's easier to do under the hood. And there's no reason not to, because you're kind of gonna set it and forget it. And you know, hey, if it's snowing, maybe open the hood, dial it a little. Hey, if you're on pavement, you might make an adjustment, but it's not something you fiddle with all the time. But to be able to adjust the brake proportioning front to rear would be really nice. So yeah, tires, rear diff, adjustable brakes, and this thing would be a rocket ship. A couple performance upgrades maybe, but you really don't even need it on a surface like this. It's pretty much good to go. So that's all I got for you. You know, if you're into performance driving, rear wheel drive, having a good time training and learning and progressing your skills, you know, you really need a reason not to get an E46. It's kind of the standard. We've been using them for a lot of years for that reason. Parts are easy, and yeah, you really would need a good reason not to pick this one. So if you're into driving skills, getting better, getting some seat time, getting some instruction, definitely check out Team O'Neill Rally School at teamo'neill.com. We're training up here all year round in the snow and ice and in the gravel in the summertime. By taking the grip away, we bring the skills up fast. You can do a lot of crazy stuff and, you know, safe and fun environment, and it's a really great way to learn. So we hope to see you up here. Until then, I've been Wyatt. Be safe out there. Have a good time, and we'll see you next time.